Welcome everyone to BPW Goes Digital. This initiative is to bring BPW into a digital era. This is co-facilitated by Dr. Ann Hilty and myself, along with presenters and trainers who are young BPW members from across the globe. The topic for today is Instagram for BPW, and the speakers are Sanem Tekkaya and Toni Osinubi. Thus, Sanem Tekkaya is a young BPW member from Turkey and is a high school student who is passionate about music and is a part of a band, and also is a writer and is waiting for her first novel to get published. She has presented a project about refugees to United Nations and is writing Erasmus Youth Exchange Program. She has received 2 certificates from Harvard University after writing essay about the challenges women face in the country. And our second speaker, Toni Osinubi, is a young BPW member from BPW Turk, Nigeria. She is a multilingual educationalist with over 8 years in teaching and human resource management. She is passionate about children and focuses on enhancing the behavior of children while ensuring they have the right values and ethics to grow into an emotionally and socially balanced adult. With this, I would like to welcome our both speakers, and now the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Sanem. Thank you for the introduction. Now we go to BPW Goes Digital, Instagram for BPW. When you look at this picture, what do you see? The sea, it's serene, the water, the sky, it's breathtaking. Now, what do you desire when you look at this picture? A holiday, a vacation. This is basically what Instagram is all about. It's all about visual engagement, entertainment. People want to know what is going on in the lives of other people. It's all about gossip, really. And it's a virtual reality show. This webinar is to teach you how Instagram is beneficial to successfully promote BPW. For our learning objectives, we're going to learn about the basics of Instagram, importance of Instagram, how to create an Instagram account, learning to use popular hashtags, tips on how to reach more people on Instagram, that is BPW strategies. Now, Instagram, what are the basics? When you look at these pictures, they tell a lot of stories. A smile, it warms your heart. A philanthropic gesture. Greta Thunberg donates £1 million of world money to climate groups. A pregnant woman. Weddings, a couple exchanging vows. A woman who just went through childbirth. Beautiful, isn't it? And a family portrait. A caption, be the best version of you. This is what Instagram is all about. It's all about visual. Instagram is a visual platform. It helps you to make a personal connection with your audience and engage them. Sorry about that. Let me go back to the slide. It helps you make a personal connection with your audience, and it helps you engage your audience. It is one of the most popular social networks on a global level. Now, it is also an app, a social media app that helps you share photos, share videos, engage with others, market to your organization, add captions to your photos and videos. Instagram. It is the highest average engagement rate of social media channels. It reveals in-depth insights about your audience. Now, how does it reveal in-depth insights? Instagram tends to monitor, or not really monitor, it tends to observe the likes of your followers. Then it pushes, it gives you tips on what to share, what not to. That is if you have a business account anyway. It tells you what to share, what kind of content to engage your audience, to engage your followers, so they will want more. It is the simplest and most enjoyable way, media, to market your organization and target your audience. Now, do you know how many active users Instagram has? Sanem, do you?
Yes, thank you. Actually, Instagram has more than 800 million users. Many people from all over the world are using Instagram. And how do you create an Instagram account? Let's talk about that. You register with an email address, type in a username and password, and create a unique bio and profile. And then you have your Instagram account. And if you decide to download the application on your phone, you can enable push notifications on your phone to know when a user likes or comments on one of your photo or videos, a user mentions you in a comment. And to also control the notifications on your iOS device, exit the Instagram application and access the settings location. Search for Instagram in the notification center and configure your app preferences. For Android, Instagram users must change notification settings from the app itself. Head to settings, edit profile, and push notifications. Well, your Instagram handle can be linked to your Facebook page if you decide to, which is a very beneficial thing if you're trying to use Instagram as a business page. To connect social accounts, head to the Profile tab, edit sharing settings, then choose the network you wish to connect. You may choose to link Instagram to a Twitter or Facebook accounts, which are also very popular applications all over the world. And by connecting your accounts, each time you upload a photo on Instagram, you'll have the option, you have the chance to share to each of the social networks you have enabled, or to none. It's up to you. And here's what you can include in your profile. A username. You can make it the same as your other social media channels. This will make it easy for your followers on other platforms to find you on Instagram. And bio. 150 characters to convey your brand identify and show new visitors why they should follow you. A website, and it is the only place on Instagram where you can include a clickable link. Which is a very important thing is that how do you craft a great bio and a profile? You need to make it clear, concise, and appealing. Your profile needs to convince new viewers to click the follow button. They won't do so if your profile is unclear, incomplete, or unappealing. Your profile is the backbone of your presence on Instagram, and a well-crafted one is key to growing your audience. 2/3 of Instagram business profile visits are from non-followers. You should also aim to get featured. Featured accounts are simply Instagram accounts that curate and reshare other users' content based on hashtag or tagging. Some of these accounts have a huge following, and having them share one of your posts, along with your handle of course, can send a new stream of followers your way. So basically, this is what a hashtag looks like, and what does it mean? It means that it is a word or phrase preceded by a hash sign used on the social media websites and applications, especially Twitter and Instagram, to identify messages on a specific topic. And hashtag tip number 1, to grow your Instagram account, use 30 to 11 hashtags per post. This will help you engage more on this network. And what are the popular hashtags on Instagram? Let me tell you some. For example, love, Instagood, this week on Instagram, businesswoman, businessmen. These are to mention a few. and some tips on how to reach more people on Instagram, BPW strategies. Toni, would you like to get from here?
Okay, thank you, Sanem. Strategies on how BPW can reach more people on Instagram. Post interesting pictures and videos. You need to inform your followers. You need to engage them. You need to entertain them with content, with creative content to be able to gain more followers. You need to get creative with your hashtags. Use topically relevant and trending hashtags for more visibility. Share engaging content. This gets people to like your post and to comment more on it. It also gives you an algorithm boost, and it helps you reach more people on Instagram. Basically, everything you post has to be interesting. It has to be engaging. It has to be entertainment. And also, to reach more people, you tag other BPW clubs and countries when you post. And even in your bio, you can include BPW Turkey. If you're in Nigeria, BPW Nigeria, BPW Turkey, BPW International. Try to tag other BPW clubs so other followers can click on and go to the pages and have a look. Your visuals also need to be compelling. Your captions have to engage others. If you've already built followers on another social network, for instance, if you have followers on Facebook, let your fans know about it. Share a link to your Instagram profile. Give your existing social media followers a reason to always check it out. Having links to your Instagram account on your website is actually beneficial. Even in your email signature, just below your name, you could include your Instagram handle. You could also include your website also. It will help people who are in your contact list on your email to find you anytime they want to go on social media, on Instagram or other social media networks. On final note, are your Instagram posts clear, concise, compelling, and appealing? Before you create posts, before you put posts on Instagram, ensure they are clear, ensure they engage your audience, ensure they are concise. When you say concise, means it's apt, it's catching, it's appealing, and it wants people to comment, it wants people to keep wanting more. That's basically that's how you can get more followers on Instagram. Thank you.
Thanks, Toni, and thanks, Sanem, for a good presentation and a good starting point for our discussion. Before we open it up to everyone else, I have a question for either of you or both, and I think we can take it out of the share screen now, if you will, Toni. What do you think is the advantage for BPW to move into Instagram? Because most of our clubs are not there. We usually have Twitter accounts and especially Facebook. So what are some advantages to moving our materials instead of the others, but also into Instagram, in your opinion?
For I believe, and according to our researchers, Instagram has more than 800 million active users. It's more than many other applications, and it's probably the most popular network all over the world that people are using. So, and also we want to attract more young BPW members. And as far as I believe, that many young people, many young adults now using Instagram more active than they are using Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn. So I believe that Instagram is more beneficial if you want to engage more people in the ages of young as a teenager.
Okay, and young adults too. Toni, do you have anything you want to add to that?
It's basically to reach more of the younger adults, to encourage them to join BPW and to promote BPW, is basically to reach more young adults.
And through one of the most active channels in the world. So,
oh, yes.
Okay, and I have one other question, and then I'll open it up to everyone else, whoever else might have questions or comments or anything you'd like to discuss about this. But one other question, you mentioned that you can connect it to your Facebook or Twitter account. I think, I'm not sure, and I'm asking you this, I think it's one direction though. So if you post something on Instagram, it will also go to your Facebook account and your Twitter account. If you post something on Facebook, it doesn't go to Instagram, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's basically from Instagram. When you post, it gives you the option to post on Twitter, Facebook, and some other, Tumblr and other. But from Facebook, you can post to Instagram.
Okay, that's what I thought. So it's one direction from Instagram to others. So if we're posting very actively as a BPW club to Instagram, we already know it's going to go to those other channels that we've connected to it.
Yeah.
So it's one stop. But Instagram is almost only photo and video. You can put a caption, but you can't put any kind of long post or anything like this, right?
No.
Yes, but
Very big.
you can make an activity named question and answer. If you want to engage more people, then you may put a question and answer thing, and people might ask questions about how things are going on in actually BPW and how they can be a member of BPW. And you might answer the questions and put them in on your story, and people might watch it and understand more about how BPW works.
Oh, good. I don't know about that. So in addition to comments that they can make on anything you post, there's this question and answer feature that you can then put onto your Instagram account. Great. Okay. So I'm going to open it up now to anybody else who wants to make a comment or ask a question. If you can use the hand raise function or the physical hand raise function, that works too. But also there's a raise hand function, let me just tell you about it, which is you click on participants, and in the right-hand side, I think upper right, there's a 3-dot menu, and it will have a raise hand function there as well. So whichever you prefer. If I'm not seeing you doing this, then also do that to make sure I see you. So I've got Francesca here.
So with this question and answer feature, is that going to be in the settings of Instagram? Where will I find?
Actually, when you slide your page to left, while on your main page on Instagram, then you can take a picture. And when you take a picture, for example, just the wall you take, and then you put the feature question and answer, and then tell people to tell you questions about BPW, the questions that they want to learn the answers of. And then people ask questions, and then you answer. And to answer them, you need to take another picture again. It might be the logo of BPW, or a picture which BPW members are together with. You post it to your story, and then you also answer the question. It is how it works. And also, normally stories are for 24 hours. It's for a day. But with a new feature, you can record it, and it stays on your profile all the time.
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you both for your presentation. It was very good.
Thank you.
Okay, who else has a question or a comment? And for those who just joined us, you've actually missed the presentation part, but the recording will be online in the next 24 to 48 hours. So who else would like to jump in here? I do have a raised hand here. Camilla.
Morning, girls. I'm Camila from Brazil, from BPW Florianópolis. And thanks for your presentation. And I'd like to ask you if you have any suggestion or recommendation on how to encourage other members to collaborate with social media, sending posts and pictures and videos from their projects and events.
So how to encourage other BPW members to engage on the social media platform with you. I guess specifically Instagram in this case, but it's probably the same for any platform. How do you engage others?
Okay. I'm Sanem. Okay. Basically, to engage others, when you have an event in your country, for instance, you try to you record a video and try to cut them into short clips. Then when you post on Instagram, you tag other people. And when you also post, because you can link it to your Facebook account, when it goes to your Facebook account, you can actually tag them on Facebook to let them know this is from Instagram. You should join and encourage them to join so that they can try to reach more people in their country, more young adults in their country. So basically, when you post on Instagram, you try to always enable the Facebook account, so that it goes to your followers or your friends on Facebook. And when they see it, they tend to want to know, oh, okay, what's happening on Instagram? That's basically what you should, how to encourage them to do that. When you keep posting and involving your Facebook account anytime you post on Instagram. Because basically the young adults, when they want to hear news, for instance, any news or any gossip, they tend to just go straight to Instagram. They use the hashtag love, hashtag entanglement, hashtag. Once they hear any gist, they tend to go to Instagram. So by the time you post and keep linking your Facebook account, it helps your followers or your friends on Facebook to know, okay, this is a social media app I could try out. And that's basically it.
Camilla, do you have any other ideas you want to put into the mix here on this?
I'm planning a strategy to encourage collaborations and other members to send pictures and texts, but it's a journey. I think you have to start posting and posting and posting, and as Toni said, I think it's a question to tag people and try to engage using different approaches.
I would suggest having up to 5 admins for the account. It's a BPW account, not your personal one, and you can have a number of people on that account. Even if the account is in one name, just give the login information to 4 other people so that you don't have just one person responsible for posting. And work as a team. Yes, Sanem.
I would just like to propose an idea. For example, if we have 5 admins on our Instagram page for BPW, we can choose them as content writers as well. For example, each Monday we'll share a post. It doesn't matter how the picture looks, but with the content writers, then we'll write things that will interest people about United Nations, about BPW, about women rights, about human rights. It's about our content, about our features. We can choose the admins as content writers, and with the picture, which is also attractive, our writings also be attractive as well. So people would like to engage more, click the follow button more. This is just an idea. Perhaps it might be helpful.
It's very good. Not everybody's a good writer, so choose some good writers and some good photographers and give them their best task. It's a very good idea. Also, Toni, when you started talking before, you went in a different direction than I thought when you started talking about taking several small or short videos from one event. I was thinking of, and this is even older than I am, I was thinking of early radio days where people would tune in once a week to hear the next part of a story. But even now, it's the same thing on TV. There's a continuing story. It doesn't always wrap up in one episode, right? So if you had an event, but you put today just something from one part of it, and it's 15 seconds, 30 seconds long, and then tomorrow another part and another part, that also draws people in because they want to hear the rest of the story. If you don't drag it on too long so that they say, never mind. But a few episodes, so to speak, instead of a one-time thing might get more engagement. Anybody else? Yes, Sanem.
Yeah. Now Instagram has a new feature called IGTV, which is like YouTube. You post videos longer than 15 seconds, and with these videos longer than 15 seconds and 1 minute, you can post anything. For example, we can take a video among BPW members all over the world talking about BPW and our passion about this significant topic and why we why we are here as a member, what brought us all together as people, as women. We can talk about this, and we can then edit this video, make it interesting, make it look more enjoyable, and then post it on our IGTV, which might attract more people.
Very good. So all the members of a club, even if your club is small and has 20 members, as many as want to participate can record something in response to a question you give them, like, why did you join BPW? What does BPW mean to you? What do you hope for the future of BPW? What would you like to see included in BPW? Lots of things. You give them the question and have as many of them as possible answer and post them one by one. And everybody likes to be featured. So that also engages your members as well as being interesting to other audience. Excellent. Okay, who else wants to jump in? And are any of you using Instagram for your BPW club or federation already? Even young BPW?
Hi there, this is Joey from
Joey.
Singapore. Yeah, sorry I was late. But I have one question. It's just one. I heard the part about linking Instagram to Facebook. But if it's the other way around, is there a way which I can post something on Facebook and then it automatically goes? No, not for now.
I asked that question maybe just before you joined the meeting, and we've already heard that there's not a way. It's just one direction from Instagram to Twitter or Facebook.
Right.
The other is much more text dependent, and Instagram doesn't work that way. I would imagine that's why. Whereas all of them work with visual.
So, and then there's another one about TikTok. I was just wondering, you know, I know this is the Instagram session, but just amongst, you know, the younger BPW, do you see like a growing trend that people are moving away now? You know, we're talking about what, the Gen Z or Alpha, you know, what are your views? I mean, TikTok versus Instagram, you know, why is it that there's a lot of interest now in TikTok?
Do you, to clarify your question before I put it to our speakers and any other young members here, so you're asking whether they feel in their own experience or among their friends that there's a trend to move away from Instagram and to TikTok, which is actually not so new because it's been around since I think 2012, but it's newly hugely popular. So, so to our speakers first, and then any other young people in the room, do you see any trend moving away from IG and toward TikTok? Maybe no. Nilima?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I think, you know, for BPW right now, I see that even there are really few BPW clubs which has Instagram account. Lately, I've seen like every other week, I see new clubs who are, you know, they are into Instagram. And for me, I think personally, TikTok is something for entertainment, and Instagram is something that we can use for the publicity of BPW. So I don't see BPW getting into a TikTok where, you know, our president is making a video about some song or something. So that is something away from the professional. But for Instagram, what I've seen is in the last few months, some of the clubs, like in Brazil, they're having live sessions, like in Turkey, Nigeria. A lot of the clubs, even they are doing, you know, a meeting, a BPW normal meeting, then they are posting there. So it makes us aware that, you know, the BPW members are active. So I think in a way it makes, you know, when, the thing is that when we post things on Facebook, we can't just post all the videos that we take in an event. Let's say we go to European conference. Well, we don't want to post everything, but for the members to see it on Instagram, the short videos, the clips and this, they might feel like, okay, I missed out a lot. Maybe next time I need to, you know, go to another, you know, conference. So that might attract people to attend the event. So for me, I think it will work as a, you know, media, like a newspaper. It is like Instagram, which we can use to publicize and attract all the members of BPW.
I want to add something to that, Nilima. might have agreed with you a couple of months ago, but I would disagree now in terms of TikTok being for entertainment only. That's still the majority of it, but there have been a few articles written in international media that there's a trend on TikTok since the beginning of the pandemic, actually, since maybe February or March, for doctors and other professionals to also put these short videos on and to provide a bit of a sort of soundbite, a short bit of important information, because these are very limited videos. And there's a real trend for that. So it might have been only for entertainment, but I think there's a lot of movement more toward the professionals. So we could certainly look into it. There's also a certain amount of controversy with TikTok. So the US is kicking it out, and the UK might kick it out. And I think didn't Singapore kick it out? I'm not sure about that, but India kicked it out already. So there's some not yet. Some controversy though too. So I want to go to Toni, who's had her hand up for a while, but I want our speakers to just put in the back of your mind for now and come back to this later, the idea that was just brought up by Nilima of Instagram Live, which is a bit similar to many other platforms that have this live function. So let's mention that too, but Tomi's been waiting. So Toni, would you please?
Yeah, thank you so much. You took the word out of my mouth, actually. So thank you. That was what I wanted to say.
Great. Do you want to speak about it at all, or do you know about it before we turn it over to the speakers?
Oh yes, TikTok is the new future. You know, when Instagram came in, everybody was like, you know, too playful. We don't have time for this. And now Instagram drives the biggest marketing campaigns ever. So is TikTok as well. So it's just how we position ourselves on all these platforms that is important. Yeah. So you're right. You're very right about what you just said.
It might be a little early.
Well done, everyone. You're good.
Sorry, Toni. It might be a little early to tell whether it's the new Instagram or the new Snapchat, though, because Snapchat's still around, but it was early on, it was very popular, and it's really declined since then, I think. So I think TikTok, we don't know yet which way it will go, but anyway, it's becoming more and more professional. That much I can say. So I want to go back to Sanem and Toni, or either one of you or both, and can you tell us about Instagram Live? Do it and what it could be used for.
Sure. So for Instagram Live, we can, for example, for Instagram Live, as BPW International, when we open an Instagram Live, we can guest people. For example, we might guest a member from BPW Turkey, and that member and someone from BPW International might have a conversation about a significant and a relevant topic. And other people might be watching, asking questions, making comments. All over the world, people will be watching, making comments, asking questions. And there's also, again, a feature on Live. You can make a question and answer feature. People ask you questions, and then you say, okay, next question, and then you slide it to the next question, and the next question comes, and then you answer it again. So Instagram Live has also many features. You might also share a picture. You might make a screen sharing, but just a picture. And people might see that picture, and also you being live still. So this is perhaps how we can use Instagram Live, just, you know, talking about a significant topic while guesting someone.
Definitely. Toni, did you want to add to anything there?
And she said it all. Basically, Instagram is about when is interacting more with people and encouraging others. And before you do it, we can actually put up posters. I'm going live on individual pages. BPW International can come up with a poster, probably use Canva, and distribute it to other members, and we can put it in our individual pages, in our individual profiles or handles. Other followers can see it, and they even get to join and follow BPW International as a result. So we could.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant thing we're really underutilizing, no matter what the platform really, but the live feature. We could, as Sanem was saying, we could have 2 or 3 speakers from 2 or 3 countries, even 2 or 3 regions, whatever, as long as we work out the time zone differences, and discussing, and anybody else can follow. I have a question about this though. If we're using YouTube Live, for example, nobody needs an account there. Everyone can watch it no matter who they are, as long as they know how to find it. But for Instagram Live, do you also need to have an Instagram account in order to watch the live broadcast?
Yes,
Wow.
as far as I know, you need to have an account to watch. You need
Okay.
the application and an account.
Okay, so that might be a hesitation because not all members would have that, but they can make a free account if they want to watch the live event. And the more it's used, the more likely the members will make sure they have an account. It's like having a Zoom account to come to this webinar. Okay, so who else would like to jump in? Other questions, comments, brilliant ideas? Anybody here at all using, I asked this before, but we didn't have any answer. Is anybody at all here using Instagram for your club or federation? Okay, so there are a few, but only a few. Okay. Toni, you want to jump in again? Or was that raising your hand to answer that question? I'm not sure which. No, maybe not. Okay.
Maybe I could add one more thing.
Please.
About TikTok, I believe, yes, TikTok is an entertainment platform, but also it might be helpful if, for example, like you said, Dr. Anne, if a doctor wants to share something important, like a knowledge, it might be very helpful. But I believe many people are actually watching TikToks on Instagram, which is very easy. When you download the application TikTok, you say, when you like the video, you say save the video and it saves it to your device, and then you post it on Instagram. There are pages like this that post TikTok videos on Instagram, and then you watch actually TikTok videos on Instagram. So you won't need to download TikTok, but you can easily watch it on Instagram. So for this, I believe, yes, TikTok is getting more famous. It's getting more people, more active users. But because you might download the videos on Instagram and post it there, I believe that Instagram will always be number 1.
Well, at least it won't replace Instagram. Not anytime soon, with 800 million accounts on Instagram. Okay, also Instagram is, you mentioned business account, Toni, and we didn't go into that because we talked about that beforehand, and this is more for BPW use. But is there a reason why a BPW club or the federation or international for that matter might benefit from making theirs a business account instead of a personal account?
Yes,
that's not only Toni, it's
you
for
can
both
benefit more from a business account, because once you have a business account, Instagram tends to send you algorithms on what to post, how to go about your post. It tends to send a lot of traffic your way. For instance, it advises you on the kind of content you need to post so that you can get followers, because they have a record of what your followers or what the young adults really like. So it tends to, when you have a business account, it gives you suggestions on what to do and what to post, how to do this. Basically, that's the advantage of having a business account on Instagram.
Okay, so better engagement perhaps, and more features, including analytics, so you can get a lot more feedback on your account. Okay, I have a question in the chat. It's not strictly speaking about Instagram, so I'm going to throw this out to the whole room. I will ask it, but I'm going to throw it out to all of you, not just our speakers. And this is from Amina. I'm not sure where Amina is, what club you're in. So Amina, if you can also just send me another message to say what club you're in, that would be great. And this is to ask the panel, and again, I'm putting this to the whole audience as well. How can we encourage old and new members? By old, I'm sure she means longtime members. We always debate these age questions. So both older or long-term and new members, because most of them seem to be discouraged about the essence of BPW. So this is a bigger question. Maybe we can circle it back to also using social media for this purpose. How can we encourage members about BPW and get them more engaged if they're feeling discouraged? Anybody have any brilliant wisdom on this? Nilima,
I think
how about from the younger perspective? I'll come back to you in a moment, Joy.
Okay. So I'm kind of speechless right now because there have been times when I met a lot of members who said to me that, they're leaving BPW because, it's not exciting at all, like they expected it to be. And there are members who are so much, uh, passionate about it. So there are all kind of members that we meet. And it's so, we need to keep them engaged. That is, I think, being in the national or local, international, we need to make sure that our members are engaged. We are giving them information, whether it is through Facebook, Instagram, or we need to engage them in, social media, because we won't be meeting them all the time. So I think social media is a good way in which we can bring the members together. For example, I had young BPW various groups, like, like the BPW in Cairo, then BPW in Ireland, and then we have different young BPW, Asia Pacific, young BPW, Europe, Africa, different groups. And then what I realized is when I formed Young BPW Global WhatsApp group, we have like so many, like more 200 members there, and it's always exciting to see what they are doing. And whenever they post something on the group, it is something for me to understand that, the members are active, and we need to make sure that we are aware. And also it inspires a lot of other members at the same time, and they do the networking there as well. They don't have to wait for another regional conference or international congress for that. A lot of networking within the members can be done using all kind of social medias that we have right now. So I think if we do that, engage them in a way that they feel like they are part of a family, it is good. But if we always wait for them for the congress or for regional conference, I think they will lose the interest. I will lose the interest if I have to wait for another conference or a regional conference. Even this BPW goes digital, which we have like every other week, and in the intergenerational dialogue that we have every month, it is like something that brings me together with the BPW members. I think we need to have more session, in whether it is like going live on Instagram, or having Zoom meeting, or some meeting in Facebook. This is the way we connect members. I think from my point of view, I think we have to use social media right now to bring everyone together. Yeah.
Joey, you had something to add to this topic.
Yeah, I fully agree with Linima, and this is actually a good time. I mean, in Asia, from my understanding as well, because of the pandemic, we can't travel. So a lot of people, yes, they're starting to be more receptive, So we could have like Zoom drinks. It's starting to be fashionable now here. Everyone say, oh, let's have a Zoom coffee, and then each one fix a time. So it could be something casual. And I do agree, and not rather wait for like 3 years later to have our conference. And also, I'm also thinking some of the yearly events, like the leadership summit and all. If we could also share that via, social media, where people can just watch, for example, they need not, participate, but then that would sort of create the more affiliation to BPW. So just to share that in Singapore, for my club, we have a WhatsApp group, and it's true. Every day, our president, plus another director, they will post something just to make sure that it's active, and anything trivia, and so that people can feel that they're part of the group. And I suppose, yeah, over time, we will get more traction.
So you're both talking about communication, and really ready, instant, regular communication and connectedness. Not necessarily in that order, but using social media platforms for this. And for me, the international quality too. Look at this room here. How many countries are represented? And every time we do one of these, and we do them, I'm in them 6 or 8 times a month, I'm sure all of you are, we see our friends and our sisters and our colleagues all over the world. And we can learn from each other and compare, but also feel connected. So I think social media represents a huge opportunity for us that we haven't taken enough advantage of before. But I would also add to that value And when people become frustrated with BPW at any level, people leave the club because they don't like the club, or they leave. Sometimes that's just, it wasn't their personal expectation. They have a different idea. Sometimes maybe the value isn't there. So we can up the value. And part of that for me is relevance. And this is well into the 21st century. So BPW better be digital by now. Not only digital, but widely digital, in addition to everything we do face to face. Anybody else want to jump in? How social media will enhance the value of BPW and engagement, hopefully specifically Instagram, but also any social media. Or another question, if you have something different or comment. Tommy, and then Francesca. Tommy.
I think I would suggest that the people that are managing the pages of our organizations from different countries should come together and collaborate more. There should be some sort of integration with everybody, anybody handling the social media, so that like I said in the presentation that I made about PR, so that when there's a message, a message that needs to be passed across and to trickle down the ladder, the ladder of BPW, this information can be passed basically, and then we can also borrow from what other countries are doing. So I think that there should be more, we should be more in sync, we should be more in sync, and we can support each other's events, especially online events where physical appearance is not a barrier. So that's what I say.
Including childcare with your new baby and all kinds of things that we can do in this format. So also, before I come to you, Francesca, since we're talking ultimately about Instagram here, it is very visual. Hashtags were mentioned, and this is very visual. It's nice to see all your faces. And one of the things with the hashtags is, I imagine, because when I asked, only one or two or maybe three at most here have an Instagram account for BPW, for your BPW club. I imagine if we searched the hashtag BPW or BPW International, we might not find very much on Instagram. And I would love it if we search, or somebody who's not even a BPW member and hearing about it for the first time searches the hashtag for BPW on Instagram and comes up with thousands of posts. Wouldn't that be great? So that's the way we can connect all of our accounts, by using the hashtags. If we're using similar hashtags, BPW, BPW International, your own club name or federation, as well as, for example, BPW Goes Digital or anything else. But if we're using these hashtags all related to BPW, then that's going to come up more and more and more when people look for that on. It's like a search term, but we're putting the search terms in. So we really need to utilize that a lot more. And that would be very useful, especially on Instagram, in my opinion. Humans are becoming more and more visual. You know now, everybody knows now, if you just post something on Facebook, for example, that's words only, nobody will pay much attention to it anymore. Sad but true. So people will put a random unrelated photo and say the photo is just to get your attention. It is a little sad, but it's the reality. We're extremely visual, more and more. So Instagram is where it's almost entirely dependent on the visual. That's my 2 cents. Francesca, you wanted to jump in?
Yeah, I think we also, as an organization, have to be more inclusive. I mean, we're such a diverse organization in terms of around the world, in terms of age. I mean, in New York City, we're from 20 to 90 years old. So in approaching people with new ideas, we have to figure out a way to communicate it in such a way so that they can feel more inclusive. And, and to stress that inclusivity. And just like we need to reach out to, well, I'm putting myself in this age group right now, just like we need to reach out to the more long-term members and bring them into this world. There's a lot of fear of making mistakes on their part. So we have to consider that when we want to drag them along, because sometimes it is dragging and sometimes they're very open and they really want to. And we have to be clear about that. And a lot of the more long-term people use Facebook. So how do we, so when we connect the two, which I found very interesting, and they see Instagram being used a lot, it would it would pique it will pique their interest in finding out more about that. So that was really a good tip, and I thank you. I've written down all these tips. They're wonderful because we're not using our Instagram as good as well as we could be in New York City. So thank you all.
Thanks, Francesca. So Francesca was one of the, I think I only saw 3 hands of people that said their club already has an Instagram account, but she also put in the comments that they have it, but they're not really using it. And that's very common. If we have it at all, maybe we're not really utilizing it. So we need to explore ways to do that. Okay, so we have just about 5 or 7 minutes left. So do we have anybody else with questions or comments? Primarily related to Instagram or maybe generally to social media use for BPW?
Yeah.
Elima?
Wow. Is that you? One thing that, I follow a lot of influential women in Instagram. For example, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York. And, during her election, that happened like a few months ago, I guess weeks or months ago, I was looking at all the stories where, it was about, election campaign, but in a way, not just why people need to vote for her, but also the datas and, where she was collecting information, where I could give my input because there was a question answer rounds where I could, write to her personally as well. So I think in a way, social media, it can work for organizations to understand what the member wants, like a poll, So I can actually open up in a story, say like, what is exactly that you want from BPW, so that the members, they write it over there. So it becomes a private property, but at the same time, it's easy to get information of what the members want. So you don't have to have a whole lot of 1-hour conversation to understand what they want. But I think we can use Instagram in that way, because that is not something that we can do in Facebook, because if you do it in Facebook, everybody knows about it. So I think we can use Instagram for that reason as well.
So along with live events that we're grossly underusing on all these platforms, we can use polling features or similar, including the Q&A. And I don't know if it's actually referred to as polling because I haven't used that in Instagram, but polling or anyway Q&A that Sanem was telling us about to glean information from our members. Okay, anybody else? This would be our last contributor. So who wants to be the last one up?
Just
Yes.
one thing I would like to add, just came to my mind when Lima was talking. For I believe if you want to post things just for BPW members, if you want only to BPW members to see these posts, we can make our accounts private, just letting BPW members to see these posts. And then other than that, we might also have another account for engaging followers, for engaging other for example, people that would like to be a part of BPW as a member. So you might have actually 2 accounts, one to engage more followers and one to post between BPW members. That is just an idea.
Excellent. Public and private.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, last chance, one last question or comment. Who would still like to jump into the conversation? I'm looking around for any hand that's waving. I don't see anybody. Then in that case, I'm going to turn it back to our speakers. First, Toni, because Sanem was just giving us one more tip. First to Toni and then to Sanem for any last words you might want to give to us.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anne, and thank you everybody for this, for coming for this presentation. Thank you. So glad I was able to give you some insightful ideas on Instagram. Thank you.
Also, thank you. We discussed many things here. We also learned, we shared our knowledge, we shared our experiences. It was very great talking to you all. Thank you.
Okay, great. So also everyone, if you want to save the chat, there are some, hello, I'm so-and-so from such and such club, and there are some thank you to our speakers, but there are also some tips and hints and IG accounts and other things in there. If you want to save it, open the chat, go to the bottom where you would normally type your own message, and off to the right, just after the word file, you'll see 3 dots that are a menu. And if you click on that, you get a short pop-up menu, and save chat is the first one. And it will save it to your own computer. So that's a way to save the chat if you would like. We're about to close, so if you want to save that chat, now would be the time. So I just want to say in closing, thank you to both of our lovely speakers. We have Toni from Nigeria, BPW Nigeria, and we have several of your members in the room today. And we have Sanem from BPW in Turkey. She's in Istanbul, where I am these days. So we're just across the Bosphorus from one another, I think, at the moment. And so we thank both of you very much for this great contribution to an introduction to social media that most of us are not yet using, but most of the world seems to be. So BPW is a little behind on this one. We need to all get onto Instagram as well. And I hope you all can pass that along very widely among our BPW colleagues. Thanks to all of you, our lovely audience. It doesn't go anywhere if we don't have an audience. So thank you for joining us, for participating actively. Check out our channel. We have a number of videos there. We have a number of them scheduled for this month and next. So by this time next month, we'll have doubled our library there, but there are already quite a few there. And we hope to keep this going very actively with your participation. So thank you. We have one more webinar this month, which is next week. So check that out on our Facebook page. We'll get this project over to Instagram too very soon. So thanks again to all of you, and bye for now.